What's happening, guys and girls? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to what was a sunny Winsford. We're here at Synetic again. Do you know what? I was absolutely delighted to see the reception to the last video when we came to look at all the salvage cars. It was an absolute treasure trove of different stuff to look at, and it really got me thinking. So instead of buying a new car, is it possible to, buy a salvage car, do it up and have that as like a daily runabout? One of the things that I was really thinking to myself was, what does it actually mean? What is Cat N? What is Cat S? What is Cat X? I was looking at all these cars and I was like, what can you actually buy? Is that just for parts? Can you buy a stolen car and do it back up? I don't know. All the questions, just like a lot of you guys were asking on the comments as well. So I thought for today's video, we'll come up here, take a look at what all the different categories are and sort of explain to you guys what you can buy, what's going to be just for parts, and what actually it means when it's a full-on Cat, what is it? Cat A, completely scrap, going in the bin, straight to the crusher, which is going to be another video later on, which I'm really excited about. So let's take a look inside here, let's have a walk round, and we can explain to you guys what you can actually buy and what you can get from Synetic. So Synetic very kindly have brought a few cars into this hangar here for me today just to see what the different categories are in a really clear space, because when we were having a look around the workshop before, there was just so many different things to look at. A, I'll get distracted by shiny things, and B, it's nice to just have like one of each one in here so we can easily take a look at it. So we're going to start by looking at a category A. So up for the Cat A, we've got a Jaguar X-Type from 2006. Now this, as I said, is a Cat A, which means scrap or crush only, no economically salvageable parts, e.g. total burnouts. Like, to be honest, I'm guessing that this was a total burnout with this one. So that means these cars will actually never go into the auction. Like, you can't buy these, but these will come to Synetic and they will scrap them, crush them, just get rid of them basically, because there's nothing really on the car that can be salvaged. Oh, I don't know why I'm zooming in there. So as we can see here, this car very much looks like it was in a fire. I always like with these things that you can sort of look at it and be like, where did this actually begin? Because obviously there's not too much damage at the front of the car, and it looks like the fire started from within here and sort of spread outwards. As you can see, the dashboard is completely melted. I imagine so that this was probably stolen, and then maybe they sort of set the seats on fire. And as you can see with the roof here, somebody told me that when you can see the roof is all kind of dimpled like this, it means that the metal has got so hot that it's actually just started to almost fold in on itself. Another clue as to my speculation that this was probably stolen is the fact that it still has the original key with it as well, which would mean, unless someone's actually just torched it on the drive somewhere. Could do like a whole CSI series of all the cars that come in for Cat A and then try and deliberate as to what's happened to them. Next series. So yeah, this one is a total loss. This is going nowhere, straight to the crusher for this bad boy. Okay, moving on to, actually this car broke my heart when I walked in. I was like, oh my God, look, F97 2020 X3M competition. But this car has had a fairly serious slap on the passenger side front here. But this one is actually a Cat B, so this is a breaker. That means the body shell and the chassis will be crushed without any structural components being removed. So I mean, we all know what a breaker car is as such, when you go looking on the Synetic website. If you were looking for parts for an F97 X3M competition, mouthful there, they would be coming from this car. Now the really interesting thing about breakers is these will all be sat on racking, so until that person comes looking for, I don't know, maybe they'll come looking for that headlight that's managed to survive the slap, and they will be picked, as they say, and then your parts will be sent out to you. But you won't be able to buy this car as a whole at all. It's literally just parts. It makes me so sad. I think these are so cool. I had no idea what happened to it, but it's obviously had all of the airbags are out on it. Oh wow, it's gone into the back. You reckon that's his knees that went into the back of that? I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't really speculate. It's kind of grim. And there's loads of really usable parts on this still. Obviously, I know the front end's in a bit of trouble, but the tailgate's all fine. Rear bumper. Joe, the door. No, maybe not that door. Holy moly. I don't know why I find it so interesting to see how much damage can be caused by a crash. It's like, you never realise when you're flying around in a little box, even when you're doing 30 miles an hour, like you can do a lot of damage with terminal velocity. I mean, to be fair, the brake calipers look like they'll go again. And definitely the rear suspension parts. There's quite a bit of salvageable stuff on this. But yeah, as I was saying, Cat B, can't take the whole car home, but if you're looking for parts for this particular model, you will be able to find them on the Synetic website. Okay, now we're coming into the cars that you can actually buy as a whole. This is a Cat S. So that means that it's structurally damaged, but it is repairable. This would be what you would consider your classic insurance write-off. Now this one is a 2020 Audi A7 TFSI-E. So it's obviously like a hybrid-y thing. I don't know. It's still in pretty good nick. It's one of the newer shape ones. And as you can see here, it's obviously got quite a bit of front end damage. But bar the front bumper and the lights and stuff, you can very much see that it's still repairable. Now these would be the cars that if you were looking to buy a salvage car and do it up as your daily, this would be the type of car that you would buy, because you can actually find a lot of the parts that you would need to make this roadworthy again available. I mean, jumping into the car, all of the interior is actually still brand new. There's nothing wrong with any of this in here. The dashboard is still all in good condition. The steering wheel. There's actually one of the front lights which is completely fine. It must have survived the front end impact. That's probably going to be left it with the car. So you can buy this as a whole right now, and if you work with somebody who can put it back together for you, then this could be your daily driver. And you can get these cars for really good prices. It's really interesting to take a look and actually see how much something like this would go for. Interesting. I always feel weird sitting in someone else's car. I'm like, who owned this? Maybe just me. See this car behind me? It's missing its rear tail light. So what we're going to be doing is giving the opportunity to you guys at home. Now, if you've got a friend or yourself that you've got a little bit of damage on your car, whether you're missing a light, maybe you backed into a, you know, whatever, you've got a little scuff on your car that you've just been looking at for months and you just haven't got it sorted. Well, this is your time. If you get yourselves onto the link in the description below, we can actually see if we can find the part which is going to fix your car. And I'm going to be coming around, meeting you, taking a look at the car and seeing how Synetic can help you get your car back on the road and looking fresh again. Because you know what? I know what it's like to have a little bit of a scuff on your car and you're rolling around, turn up to Tesco's car park and people are looking at you funny. Make sure you hit the link in the description below and then you can put all of your details in there and we can take a look. And hopefully we'll be seeing you soon. Moving on to a Cat N, so it means it was uneconomical to repair for the insurance company. But Cat N is non-structurally damaged but repairable, and as you can see here, walking around the car, a lot of it is still intact. You can see here that this car has had quite a light front end impact. The rest of the car is grand, but as you can see here, the front bumper, the lights, they've all been taken out. But the actual front bash bar is still in pretty good nick. The strut tops won't have moved. That's what it means by non-structural. So you don't have to take it and get it straightened out on a jig. It hasn't twisted the chassis or anything like that. But you're gonna need quite a few parts to get this back up and running and back on the road. These are actually quite good value, really. I've had a look at them online. And basically, once you've got yourself a bumper and a few lights and things, you could be back up and running really quite easily. The reason why these cars are classed as uneconomical to repair is because the insurance company would have to go to Toyota, buy all the brand new parts, which in the end was going to cost way more than to just write the car off. So that's why these cars end up at Synetic, because there's going to be other Toyota Aurises kicking around, so then they can get the parts from those other cars and you can sustainably repair it through all the other cars that they have available here. So it's way better for the environment because we're actually using the parts that are available to us and not just writing all the cars off and putting them in the bin. Also, going back to the Cat B cars that we had earlier, if you had a Cat B, which was also an Auris, you can do a parts match. So if there was one of these as a Cat N and also one as a Cat B, if you needed that front bumper and the lights, you could actually go onto the website and you could part match and find all the things, if they have them in stock, for this car, buy all the parts, have it all sent to your house, Bob's your uncle, you got yourself a Cat N, structurally sound, back on the road car. Leading me on to my final category of the evening. So this is a Cat X. Now this means it's been stolen and recovered. This is a 2021 Hyundai Tucson. I think it's a hybrid vehicle actually. As you can see, The door is missing. With a lot of the stolen cars, you do tend to find that it's either a back window that's been put out or the driver's side. So this one, for whatever reason, has had the door taken off it. You see a lot of Range Rovers. When we were walking around the warehouse last time, saw a lot of Category X Range Rovers for some reason. I don't really know. But this one, as I say, they tend to be a little bit more expensive with the Cat X's because essentially, bar the window being put through, or the door, they're a brand new vehicle. This is a 2021. Everything is still as it should be. Doesn't look like it's been crashed. Taking a look inside the car, all the dashboards still intact, all the infotainment screens. The upholstery still in good nick, just needs a bit of a clean in here. But yeah, all the door cards are perfect as well. Just might want to get yourself a door, unless you want to go ghost ride in the whip. Right then guys, I hope that's cleared that up for you. When I came down here for the first time and they explained all the different categories to me, it made so much more sense. I've spent years hearing Cat S, Cat this, Cat that, and never actually understood what it fully meant. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you check out the Synetic website. I'm going to put it in the description below. If you see a car on there, which is either a Cat S or a Cat N that you think might make a really cool daily that we could maybe do as a project car for this series, make sure you link me to it. Other than that, make sure you check out Synetic SOS. If you've got somebody that you think needs their car repaired, or even yourself, get involved. That's it from me here at Winsford today. Make sure you stay tuned for another video in this series, and I'll see you super soon. Bye!